I've been in the tax industry for nearly 4 decades, and this year is one of the biggest changes to tax laws for a lot of Americans I've seen in my entire career. I'm Mark Steber, Jackson Hewitt's Chief Tax Officer, and today I'm going to break down the top things that are new for tax year 2025 that you need to know before you file your tax return in early 2026. First, I want to stress that there are always changes to income taxes. It's rare that someone has the exact same tax return they did the year before, and that's simply due to someone's own life changes. People get married, have children, start new jobs, move, and have other changes that impact their finances and their income taxes. And items like the standard deduction and credit amounts adjust annually to reflect inflation. But there were many things included in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that will impact millions of Americans, and that includes you. So let's talk about the top 10 things I believe everyone should know at a high level. The child tax credit has permanently increased to $2,200 per child for eligible taxpayers, with $1,700 being refundable this year. A new temporary deduction of up to $25,000 for no taxes on tips. This deduction phases out starting at $150,000 or $300,000 if married filing jointly. A new temporary deduction of up to $12,500 for no tax on overtime. This deduction is for qualified overtime only. Like if you're paid $50 for regular hours, but $75 an hour for overtime, only the $25 will qualify. This deduction phases out at $150,000 or $300,000 if married filing jointly. A new temporary deduction of up to $10,000 for interest paid on a new car loan. This deduction is for new personal use vehicles only, and the final assembly must occur in the United States. And you must include the vehicle identification number or the VIN on your tax return. A new temporary deduction worth up to $6,000 or $12,000 if you're married filing jointly for taxpayers who are 65 and older. The credit starts to phase out at $75,000 or $150,000 for joint filers. And special note, this deduction is separate from the additional standard deduction amount for taxpayers age 65 or older and is intended to help offset taxable Social Security amounts and lower your income taxes. There is no longer a previously owned clean vehicle credit or a qualified clean vehicle credit. Those are gone. Forms 1099-K will be sent to those who earn $20,000 or more using third-party payment apps like Venmo or PayPal and have at least 200 transactions. The state and local tax deduction, also known as the SALT deduction, has increased to $40,000 from $10,000 for 2025. The adoption credit has been enhanced by allowing up to $5,000 of total credit be refundable, and that refundable portion is also subject to annual inflation adjustments and will go up. The adoption credit allows for up to $17,280 of qualified expenses per adopted child in 2025. And there are 2 depreciation changes. The Section 179 expensing limits are increased to $2.5 million of assets placed in service, with the phase down of the deduction beginning at $4 million. And 100% depreciation election for qualified production property placed in service after January 19, 2025. All of these items have different income requirements and other criteria that can impact the amounts. And it can be really confusing. The most important thing I can tell you is, this is the year you have to work with a tax professional who understands these changes and how they will impact you. In my opinion, if you file your tax return on your own, there's a huge chance you could make a mistake that could cost you. Now more than ever, it's extremely important to be compliant with the IRS. Mistakes on your income tax return could bring penalties and interest from the IRS, as well as letters and notices, or even being audited by the IRS. And the IRS can eventually garnish wages, seize bank accounts, or put liens on property. Furthermore, those who aren't compliant with the IRS and their state risk other issues too. Lenders often require proof of tax filings in order to approve a loan, and some background checks will include if a taxpayer is current with their tax filings and their payments. It's just never been more important to work with a tax pro. Plus, an educated and trained professional will help you get the biggest refund you're owed. Get every dollar you deserve when you file with a tax pro. Because there's no guessing on your taxes with a Jackson Hewitt guarantee. We ensure your biggest tax refund, and we stand behind your return for life. Plus, get the worry-free and ID theft protection you need. Schedule an appointment on jacksonhewitt.com.